Hello everybody, Jason DeLeo, Food by DeLeo. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we are going to be doing our world famous turkey taco box that I've been eating for about the last 8 years, well, until I turned vegan. But we still do offer it here at Food by DeLeo. It's our most popular box. It's my favorite. It's pretty simple. I'm going to show you how to put it together. So welcome, and let me show you the ingredients that we're going to be starting with. But first, I'm going to add. So I got from Wegmans 3-pound turkey, cut it in half, and did about 1.5 pounds, which is good for about, I would say, it's going to be good for about 3 portions. So we're going to start that off right away. That'll take the most time. And what I like to use is my potato masher. So whenever I'm doing ground meat, I use my the trusty potato masher, and it'll get my the turkey ground the way I want it, so it's not sticking together in big chunks. So it's just what I do. People use spatulas, and I use that too, but this is my go-to, and you'll see why as we go. I'm gonna add just a little bit of olive oil around the edge here. It doesn't need much because there's a little bit of fat in there. I just want something to keep it from sticking. All right, so come on over here while the turkey's cooking. So for our seasonings today, what I use is chili powder. I use some cumin, a little bit of taco seasoning, salt and pepper for everything, as you already know. I've got some cilantro cut up, and we've got our black beans here. It's just a can of black beans washed that we're going to use today. I've got just some white rice, a little salt and pepper. It's cold, and we're going to show you how we mix that. And then we've got some fresh lime wedges. But we're going to start with, and then I've got some tomatoes here. Now this is just a canned tomato. It's got some chili in it, and we're going to add that to the add some moisture to the ground turkey. We'll add that later. So first we're going to come over. We're going to make our fresh pico de gallo, our salsa, which literally means sauce. So cut our tomato. I cut it in half. This is my way. It's a simple way. Some people might, if you want smaller, I can go again into another half, or we can do, but I'm just going to cut them in half, and I'm going to slice them long way. Then I'm going to turn them, and we'll get our dice out of it. So that's how I do it. Again, if I want it smaller, but for home, this is what I'm doing. I keep it simple. I just want to chop it up and make a quick salsa. So that's what we're going to do. By the way, went to Nash last night for my anniversary with my wife, and the food was fantastic. They had a whole separate vegetarian menu, and I got to eat off of that, because as you know, lately I've been vegan. And let me tell you something. Since I went vegan in July, we've been to California, we've been to Chicago, we've been to New York City. I'm a chef, and I love to eat, and I'm always looking for great places. I've eaten vegan in some of the greatest places in those areas, vegetarian and vegan. And let me tell you something, plant-based. Last night at Nash, hands down, was the best plant-based meal that I've had since July, since I started doing this. And like I said, that's not just my food. I've been all around America and tried a lot of different things. So please, if you're plant-based, check out Nash. It was fantastic. The Brussels sprouts were probably the single best plant-based item I've had, maybe in my life. That's how good they were. I love Asian stuff. So anyway, we're gonna come back over here. That's my plug for Nash. Not enough people say enough nice things about enough nice people and the great work they do. So around here, that's what we do. We give credit where it's due. And they're doing a great job. So thank you, Nash, for all that you do. Keeping Rochester exciting, you know, and fed. All right, so I'm mashing that up, and we're back over the turkey. I chopped up my tomatoes over there. We're just letting that, we're gonna let that go. Another couple of minutes, and we're gonna add our stuff to it. So over here we've got our diced tomatoes. Pretty much, you can add red onion. I usually do. Just don't have any with me right now. So I didn't add any, but I could add some red onion to this. I could add some, I could roast these tomatoes for a salsa. You know, tomatoes, you could tomatillos, regular tomatoes. You could roast them. You could puree it, make a quick salsa. Really anything you want to do. This is what I like to do. It's pretty simple. I love it. We're just gonna go diced tomatoes, the juice of a lime. I like a little extra lime. I'm gonna throw in some cilantro, fresh. A little salt and pepper. There we go. And then I'm just gonna mix it. So it's that simple. Again, you can add red onion to this, white onion, different kinds of tomatoes. Really, it's salt, pepper, lime juice, cilantro, and tomato. And again, you can play with that any way you like. So we're gonna set that aside. That's gonna be the pico that we use for this meal. Now we're gonna take our white rice. I'm gonna add our can of black beans, washed. Just gonna add them right to the rice. I'm gonna add a little bit more cilantro. I'm gonna add a little more salt and pepper. So this, you want there to be flavor. This is our base. So salt, pepper, black beans. You know what, for color or for a little moistness, you can. It's not necessary to add a little tomato juice or fresh tomato to it. I'm gonna add a little bit of the juice. I like the flavor. I like a little more moist. But again, it's up to you. Cooking is your call. So that's what I do. So if you take a look, we've got that's it. That's our black bean rice, I call it. Just black beans and rice, a little bit of seasoning. That'll be our base. We'll set that aside. Got our beans, we got our salsa. Next this is just some cabbage that I have chopped up. And we're gonna show you how we season that. First, I'm gonna slide back over. And we're gonna take a look at our meat. And our meat's about there. It's all browned up. Most of that pink is gone. I wait till that point to start seasoning this. And the seasonings are pretty simple. We're gonna keep it with the Mexican flavors. My favorite is cumin. We're gonna add some cumin to this. About a tablespoon. Tablespoon for 1.5 pounds. Then we're gonna add our chili powder. And again, you could kick this up if you like. You can add some red hot to it. You can add chili flakes. You can add some cayenne. I keep it pretty basic. When I eat it, I usually kick it up with some hot sauce and stuff like that. So I leave that to you. And then we're gonna add a little bit of just taco seasoning, whatever your favorite taco seasoning is. Basically, in my opinion, it doesn't come with enough chili powder and enough cumin in it. Otherwise, I used to add just taco seasoning, and I started messing around. I really wanted those flavors, so I add a little extra cumin, a little extra chili powder. Really brings it up. Then we're gonna add those diced tomatoes. Again, it could be a can diced. This happened to be, I think it's called the Rioja with the chili. It's just diced tomatoes and chili peppers. So I'm gonna add a couple tablespoons of that. Again, this is gonna moisten up this dry turkey. It's not this dry, but you know, ground turkey isn't known for its fat content. If you don't have a lot of fat content, you can't really, it's not gonna be that palatable. So we add this back in to not add fat, but to add that moistness and make it a little more palatable. And I think you'll like the result. And we're just gonna, again, I take this and I continue to kind of mash it as I'm stirring it. I'm pulling it off the edges because I really like that ground meat. I don't want chunks of it. I like it ground when I'm doing it. If you like chunks, you can have chunks. I don't. All right, so as you can see, we're starting to get a nice color. If you could smell it, I wish you could smell it. Logan, what do you think? Smells really good?
Oh my God, it smells amazing.
Smells fantastic. Smells fantastic. Again, simple flavors, simple foods, though, are, in my opinion, the best foods. You know, you're just taking some of the flavors that you like. You're bringing it out, getting that smell going, and that's the best way to cook, for as I'm concerned. So then I'm gonna add a little bit of fresh cilantro. I love cilantro. When I chop cilantro, I keep the stems in it. The stems are where all the flavor are. Sometimes you can, even in the leaf, you could throw the leaf out, use the stem. You'll get all the flavor from it. Nobody does that, but here we go. Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right, so now we're gonna go cabbage, cilantro, a little bit more cilantro. Again, if you don't like cilantro, you don't have to add it. I happen to love it, so I add it to everything. It's one of my favorite flavors. A little salt, a little pepper. Then we're going to a little bit of tomato. So just gonna cut them in rings, and then strips. Our strips of tomato. Again, add some moistness. Now we're gonna add a squeeze of our lime. And I'm gonna add just a touch of olive oil to this. Not even a teaspoon, just a touch so we can get that lime juice, we can coat it. Then I'm going to add a little bit of our cumin, about a half a tablespoon. Not even. I take it back. I'm looking at the amount. I'd say about a teaspoon. About a teaspoon there, and we're gonna add a little teaspoon of our chili powder. Again, just I flavor everything as I go. I like lots of flavors. So if you skip this step, it just won't taste as good. So we mix that up. There we go. All right. Now, if we've got all of our components. I've already got my ground turkey from earlier. So we've got all of our components here. And I'm going to show you how we put this together. Again, when I started, I was 300 pounds at one time. And I decided to change some things around. This was my go-to. This was, Food by DeLeo, the meals that people get to enjoy. I came up with them this way, to basically something I enjoyed, something I wanted to taste, something I wanted to eat, something I could eat on a regular basis. I would eat this for breakfast sometimes. Sometimes I would eat it 3 or 4 times a day. So the flavors are there. I really enjoy it. But yeah, this is a great, I want to say it's 450 calories per serving. The macros are really nice. I think they're 40, don't quote me on this, but I want to say 40 grams of protein and balanced 40 grams of carbs, and the fat is maybe 12, 13 grams, because it's just a little bit what's in here. And there's really no fat added except for that little teaspoon of olive oil here and here. So it's really, it's a good balanced meal, pretty lean, and tons of flavor. So we're gonna take that rice mixture that we made, that's gonna be our base. So I like to plate it like this. You can kind of do it any way you want. You can actually take this, if your macros allow it, you can put this in a burrito. You can roll this up. You can make chimichangas, make a bunch of them, roll this up just like this with all the fillings, bake it, put some cheese on it. There's a million ways to do it. I keep it lean because that's what I'm always looking to do. But for my kids, I play with this a million different ways. It's, again, a little cheddar cheese, a little wrap in the oven. You got a gooey chimichanga, we call it around here. So I'm gonna finish it with, do half on the turkey. Then we add our slaw. So the slaw you can put on top, you can run around the side. I like the slaw for the crunchiness. It gives it a real freshness to it. Again, if you don't like cabbage and stuff, you can leave it out. But I really enjoy the crunchiness, the freshness it brings. And then you can use a store-bought salsa. If you don't have the time to chop a tomato, you saw it only took about 30 seconds. But for whatever reason, if you wanted to, again, you can cook the turkey, cook the rice, buy the salsa, make it that easy. But I recommend just taking the time and giving yourself a great tasting meal that's super lean, super great, super simple, and most importantly, I'm gonna try the rice here. Really good, really good. That plating job sucks, but we did the best we could today. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you guys showing up and supporting us. Please give us a like and a share. We really could use it. Doesn't cost anything, only takes you a second, and it really furthers what we're trying to do. That's for all local businesses. I don't care if it's a local tire guy, the local meal prep guy, or Nosh, the local restaurants. We could all use, on the social media, we could all use a like and a share and a comment. You know, if you support us, let us know. Let everybody know. And if you don't, well, don't tell anybody. I'm just kidding. Have a great day. Thanks for coming by, and that's my new tattoo.